True legend back home.
What up, world? It's your boy Mark Waldo War, and we right back in here again with the champion of the underground, the OG Trail Biz, Trail Garth. How you doing today, brother?
Had there, what's going on, bro?
Man, what I wanted to ask you about today was, I heard of the Indie Megafest, and I had no idea you were involved in it. So can you just elaborate on what it is and how it's different than the typical, pay to perform artist showcase in front of nobody? How it's actually a useful and relevant tool for up shit established any artist really, anyone's trying to make money independently.
What I did was I had shied away from the indie artists, but started to do more and more things with established artists. So I felt bad because it was like, hey, this is how I started. I wouldn't be anywhere without the whole indie market, the whole indie realm. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do a big ass festival, and I'm gonna invite all my friends, my celebrity friends, my executive friends, the people who mess with me that I always want to know what I got going on, bring everybody in. So I started out by flying executives, magazine writers, and everybody into Indie Megafest to see the best of the best from around the country. And it took off. This year was our 5th year. We didn't do a big one because of COVID, but I did a smaller one and gave away some cash and actually got a meeting set up with LA Reid, with another one of the artists. So they were watching on the live stream. So that's kind of how it started, man. Real platform. Just
You know what I've always loved about you, man. How you've always put. I mean, besides the super solid, you've been sturdy for years. I remember the time I saw you moving with Gibbs in DC. You were definitely real sturdy. But I like how you've always put the artists you put forward. It wasn't because you think it's gonna work because it's what's popping at the moment, but you've always put forth people that you have a genuine affection for their music, and I feel that that's contributed to the culture in ways that if you never get recognized by anyone else for it. I see what you're doing, brother.
oh man, I appreciate it, man. Everybody I pretty much work with, I still call like, little bro, little sis. Like it was that bond, you know what I mean? No matter how it went, you know what I mean? Bad, astray, miscommunication most of the time, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, without music, if music stopped tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? They still like family to me, like brothers, you know what I mean? Little bro, like for real, I mean it. So I just always had a real love for the music, but for the person and the grind. So it just meant something, man, to see somebody come from nothing to something, get fans, people singing their stuff. I mean, it make you feel good. Like that's when the hairs on your arms stand up, and it's like, yeah. But yeah, man. But I appreciate that, man. You rarely hear somebody say thank you, and I'm not one of the flashy ones that take a lot of pictures and
Right.
everybody go and YouTube this and I picture with this person all the time. So a lot of people don't know what I do and who I've dealt with. So I do appreciate that, bro.
Man, it's like a barometer, bro. You the push a T hook, if you know, you know.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, man, Indie Megafest has gotten really, really big. I can't wait to next year. I can't wait to next year. Like I was really gonna have a lot of surprises this year. We couldn't make it happen, but next year is gonna be big, man. It's gonna be real big. So I want you involved too, man. I always hit you up when I got stuff going on. I
I
know you,
I, I would
man.
love to, man.
You gotta get involved, man. But like I said,
I'll be at the next one. Promise. Shit, Tampa ain't even that far from Atlanta. I'm in Tampa
nah,
now.
nah, not at
Um,
all. I wait too.
I'm gonna spring something on you that I wasn't even gonna think of, but how you kept saying little bro. I'm curious, who'd you consider big bro? Who'd you learn from?
Man, really, I didn't have a big bro. It was almost like a competition. I came up with everybody know pretty much Gary, Indiana. Concord affiliated was the legends, paved the way for everybody.
Finger rolling, hitting them.
Yeah, well, I mean, Finker Roll was doing his own thing. They were doing their thing, but we were kind of like the first to put Gary on the map. The first to go mainstream, the first to go meet with Lil J and rap a lot, the first to Universal to come to town and be courting
Oh,
somebody from.
hold on, come on. Let's man, let's do the OG Trill Biz sidebar. Tell me about the meeting with Jay Prince.
Jay, that was crazy, bro. To get that call, even the what's going on? Who are you guys? We interested. You know, it was like a dream. We listened to Ghetto Boys and, you know, stuff like that. So Tila, it was like, whoa, rap a lot. But yeah, we took the trip to Houston. Went out to one of, you know, Jay Prince's many ranches, bro, and had that meeting and tried to see what was going on. But it was gonna be kind of like a upstart with the Scarface. But you know, I wasn't really the negotiator at that time. I was only like 18, 19, bro, straight marketing, you know, uh, genius at that time. But I really wasn't a part of the business. So what happened, why it didn't, whatever. But it was so many things on the table at that time. And Universal was so hot, the Nelly and the, you know, No Limit and all that was so hot. It was like Universal's the move. So it was kind of like, you know,
Do you still got music out there?
Who's that?
You.
What, that CCA Concord affiliated?
Yeah, and any music of you.
Oh man, you know, I have some, but it's been definitely not been released. But I'm just strictly talking about, you know, the legendary Concord affiliated. You know, my first two cousins, you know, blood cousins, EG Charlie Mack, you know, Concord area. But like I said, man, that, you know,
See, honestly, I'm not hip to that, and that's what I was gonna segue into. Do you think that these record labels didn't scratch the surface of Gary? I feel like there was a lot more in Gary that had to offer.
They did, man. It was like Chicago was doing this thing, and Gary was right there bubbling right with it. Gary probably had more talented artists than Chicago at the time.
So tell me about your cousins.
Concord affiliated, man. I wish Adam was on this call for this one, man. But you know, set it off, a real budget, a real marketing plan, merchandise, rap vans, the whole nine. Just set the whole bar for how Gary artists even operated, to be honest with you. After that, you had the Grind family, or you know, the Rick Gillas, and you know, you know, just all of them came from there.
And y'all had venues, like y'all were performing and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, we were. I mean, we did our whole album at Seawall Studios with Legendary Traxter. Toxic did the first album, so it was.
So when you say you didn't learn from a big bro, like you were in a competitive environment, you know, like steel sharpens steel, because these are great artists you're talking about.
I mean, but not being an artist, it was me thinking outside the box of what
are they doing? But you had to compete business wise.
Not really. We're a part of the team. It was one team. If Twister was doing the show, it was ACCA. What's going on? We need y'all to come on. Seawall doing this. So it wasn't a competition at all.
Oh, it was unified, because you know, like by the time I became aware of Gary, at first it was heavily unified. You know, when I first met you, and then you know, things kind of fell apart.
Things went haywire real quick. But it was a strong movement, man. We had websites, IndianaRap.com. GaryRap.com, where you had artists on here that battled, artists on here that promoted, artists on here that did shows with each other. It was really big. But
it was a lot of good artists in Gary. You know, quality music too. I mean, man, I felt D-Edge was underrated.
D-Edge was definitely now. If we want to talk about big brothers, and I can really say somebody I looked up to, and we worked together and was successful together. You know, I did. I managed D-Edge for a while. We put out that record with featuring Freddie Gibbs that did really, really good. But I really do consider D-Edge a big brother. But he's so, you know, D-Edge looked like he's 24. So I always look at him.
He got some of the best energy of anybody I've ever encountered in this game. Hey, you know what you're talking about? He looked like 24. Did you see, like maybe 5 years ago, he put up a high school basketball clip?
Right.
That shit was like from like 1988. I mean, not literally though, but it was like mad old and shit. I was like, damn, Edge.
For real though, you definitely are honest though, because dude is like 53 for real though. He gonna choke me out, but he
no
was like,
way.
He's really no for real though, but no, he's older than you think he is, but he looks like he's, I mean, for real, like 23, 24. So I never think say like that, but I mean the conversations and the,
you know, that it's so weird that, you know, I've met so many people from Gary with like this incredibly positive energy, but you know, that's not what people think when they first think of Gary.
It's crazy, man. It's very competition based, but it's crazy because it's based on clicks and it's based on size of town. You know what I mean?
Right.
These projects, Concord was a neighborhood. You know, you had Terratown over there. That's D-Edge, and you had where Hitman was from. Like, I was a fan of like Hit and his group. You know what I mean?
Midwest G's.
MCGs.
MCGs, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was a fan, you know what I mean? So later on, they come full circle and, end up working with them and, doing shows with them. I brought them all here to Atlanta to do a couple shows before when we were all the Str8 Slammin Click. So
I remember Str8 Slammin.
Man, everybody had a good run, but the loyalty.
Young shout out Young Platt.
Platt, what's going on, Platt? And it was crazy because it was small. I heard about Platt in a studio in Lake Station. My boy Dead Bodies. What's up, Dead Bodies? Out here in Atlanta too. But was playing this guy. And I was like, man, he go hard. Like, yes, my new artist, Platt. Platt ended up doing some good things, but Sonny G.
Platt was on Big Cat with Gucci Mane.
Yeah, you had Platt, you had Sonny G, you had Mutt Dog in them, you had some good artists, man. You had some real good artists. Real first battalion.
So I know you're in Atlanta now, but is there a new generation? I mean, matter of fact, before we get into it, man, it geeked me out interviewing Cappy and he all grown and shit.
What happened?
It geeked me out to interview Cappy and see him all grown and shit. I remember when he had like the videos when he was like 12 and everything.
Hey man, it's crazy too. He looked just like his pop, bro, and they rap just alike. I want to see Cappy win, man, because his dad was they were there. If they would have been anywhere other than Gary, they would have made it. You know what I mean? But people were coming to Gary. There was a real rap scene. There were magazines coming. There was, you had always Midwest Hype been around, and it's been outlets, but it's not enough, man. Big Jig from Gary. I mean, you got a lot of artists from Gary, man. A lot of artists.
Is there anybody? I interrupted you my damn self with the question. Is there anyone to be looking out for now? Younger artists in Gary?
I'm not hip at all to them, bro.
Yeah. So that's going to lead me to the final thing I was going to ask you. So I know you're in ATL, I don't know if you live there, but I know you make a lot of business moves musically in ATL. Were you surprised at how different it was?
Yeah.
Like the access alone must have been astounding to you at first.
I mean, yeah, it was crazy. It was like being in Cali or New York because you had actual labels in Atlanta. You know what I mean? You have So Def is right here. You got LaFace is right here. Ghetto Vision is right here. Big Oomp Records is right here. You know what I mean? You had labels right here. But the thing with them is they all grew up together. They played together, played football, played baseball against each other. They all came up together. They DJ'd, and they stuck together. You DJ, you A&R, your daddy worked for Columbia, you this and that, and everybody rose. That's how Atlanta did it. Nobody hated. Even if they didn't like each other, nobody hated on the business.
I mean, I know that sense of unity must appeal to you. That's why you stayed, right?
Yeah, man. It was to come from out of town, and like from now when I walk around, people try to guess what high school I'm from. Like, oh, didn't you go to such and such? Like, no, like I know you from. Like I've been here so long, but it's like the people that I met when I got here, from here, soiled here, good roots here. It was a good. I mean, the first people I meet is Cujo Goody's little brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're working together, and this is Cujo's little brother, and this is such and such, and they a group, and next thing come with us, and now I'm at a Goody Mob thing, and now what do you do? Now I'm working with them, and now it was crazy.
Why I know, man, I don't know. I don't want to put your business on blast too much, but I mean, I think it'd be discreet enough to say that you've been offered some label positions, but you always choose to keep it going with your own business, like what because I mean you've been proven right thus far. Why are you so more convinced on investing in yourself and then attaching yourself to? I mean, I don't know. You can say some names if you want, but I know that you've had some opportunities.
Yeah, I had a few opportunities. At that time, I don't think they were right for me because I was still trying to brand what I was doing. I felt like immediately stop what I was doing, and I would have to dedicate everything that I worked for and give it directly to someone else and just work for them. You know what I mean?
Right. Man, I respect that.
Sucks, bro. Turnover rate for A&R is the highest ever. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
You're a quarter away, 1/4. You're a quarter away from, shuffling on to another label. So it was more beneficial for me at that time to continue affiliated digital media and be a outlet, be a source, be able to go on the road with the MBK twins and Lil Durk, you know what I mean, and be street team support, be road management full support, you know, with other people and when support when Jeezy tours and Youngblood tours, the availability is there when someone calls and says, "Hey, we need you. We know you're gonna do what we need. You know, we need." And it's like, I'm working for such and such records, and I can't. You know, I didn't want to be not able to do things with the people who I came up with. You know, so make a long story short, really. So, but at this point in my life, it's like, all right, Empire, Def Jam, you know, just holler at me. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody got an executive position, make sure to check them out. And anything you want to shout out before you get out of here?
No, man, shout you out, man, because you've been doing it just as long as me. I don't think you get the credit either, bro. You know, you stay consistent, and I like that, and I appreciate that you still do it for the little fella too. You know, these artists that people don't know. You like it, your ear, you have an ear, and when you hear it, you make sure that you put it out to other people. These bloggers and these podcasts don't do that. If it's not the popular thing, they're not doing that. You know, you're doing different. So salute to you, and that's why I rock with you so hard, because we, you know what I mean, two pods, bro, two peas in a pod. That's the same thing, you know. So that's it, man. I'm just doing my thing, man. Indie Megafest will be July next year, and I'm working. I'm available, man. Seeing if I'm able with it.
I appreciate those kind words.
Oh, man, it's the truth.
All right, well, shit. I'll definitely see you at the Indie Megafest, and we'll definitely see you back on the Big Fact Show before that, man. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you making time for me on a Friday night on the fly too. Thank you.
Oh man, it's going down. I got my Soldier shirt on. Shout out to Soldier Drake. You know what I'm saying? We about to go hit the strip club. It's going down, man. Appreciate you for having me though.
Oh, no doubt. Have fun, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.